It just gives me goosebumps thinking about what's about to transpire this week. Super
For real.
wild card weekend in the National Football League featuring World of Matchups coming to you guys live and direct from Las Vegas, Nevada this week and every week during the full National Football League season. My name is Dexter Reed, and I'm your host. And on the other side, my A1 from day one, co-founder of World of Matchups and producer extraordinaire. Everybody, make some noise for Spencer the Wiz. What up, dude?
I'm in LA right now, but football never sleeps, man. I'm hanging out with my buddy for his birthday over the weekend. We're gonna watch the football. It's about as good as it gets, man. This is football's the best. It's just so good, especially these Saturday playoff games. It's perfect.
Nice. Ball don't stop. That's just the bottom line, man. It doesn't matter. I could be in Antarctica at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. Me and Spencer are going to be doing this show. Period. End of statement. Let's talk about these 6 games. Let's break it down with game number 1. I absolutely love the Cleveland Browns here. The Browns head to Houston. They are -2. I said this a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to double down on it. If the Ravens have to see the Browns, that's not going to be an easy game for them. And I'm going to triple down on this. I think the Cleveland Browns could go to the Super Bowl. And I will stand 10 toes down on that statement. Alone. I'm fine with that. I will plant my flag on that statement. That being said, I think they win this game going away. I think they should have no problem beating the Texans. Now, I'm not saying that the Texans are scrubs, because they're not. And when Cleveland went there a couple weeks ago and dismantled them, C.J. Stroud was concussed. He wasn't playing. So now they get their leader back. Stroud is there. Here's kind of how I feel about Houston, man. They have overachieved all year long. I mean, they really have. I mean, do they have enough to win a playoff game? I know it's in their building. I get it. I understand that completely. And their fan base is going to be galvanized. They're going to be ready for war. They're going to really want this. But defense wins championships, man. And defense wins these playoff games. And the Cleveland defense is as good as advertised. They're not good. They are elite. They're elite. Okay? In comes old man Flacco, who we all laughed at 6 weeks ago. He is playing at a very high level. He's playing at an MVP caliber level at age 37, 38. He has rejuvenated this team that, guys, it's almost like people forgot they lost Nick Chubb. Dude, they lost Nick Chubb. No big deal. Jerome Ford is more than serviceable. So is Kareem Hunt. You got the two-headed monster. They're going to run the ball, stop the run, play good D. Enter David Njoku, who has been, I think, the X factor, the key for this resurgent Browns playoff run. He has been absolutely a mammoth, especially in the red zone. He's seeing double-digit targets every week. He can catch, hard to bring down. And you know what Amari Cooper is going to give you, man? Steady Eddie, 1,000-yard receiver every single year. I just do not trust the Houston defense. I don't trust the Houston run D, and I don't trust the Houston pass D. And I don't think they're going to get shredded, but I think that they're not going to do enough here to win the game. And I think Cleveland covering too. A field goal wins a game. Don't be scared that this game is on the road, guys. Kevin Stefanski has been every bit the coach that D'Amico Ryans has been. He has been. They're both in the running for Coach of the Year. You know they're going to give it to Ryans, but I get it. But don't sleep on what's happening here with this physical punch you in the mouth. Cleveland Ball Club. They're called the Dog Pound for a reason, man, and they're going to bring the heat. They already beat this team once, and again, I know it was without C.J. Stroud, but guys, is C.J. Stroud Brett Favre? I know he's good. But he's a rookie. This is not something he has seen. This is a first-time situation for him. Okay, he's home. I get that. I understand. But the NFL playoffs are a different animal than the regular season. You're going to see stuff you haven't seen before. Coaches are going to game plan differently. I know they played each other a couple weeks ago. The game plan is going to be different. They're not going to show you the same hand. Okay? They're not. And so I think the stronger team is the team that's got the stronger defense. And I personally think they get run through. I'm not saying they get blown out, but they're going to cover this too. And I think they're going to cover this too with ease. I'd be really shocked if Cleveland loses this game. I would really be. I mean, At this point, if Houston was to beat Cleveland, what could stop them from going to the Super Bowl? I mean, all bets are off at that point. You know what I mean? I just can't see it happening. If Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett, they win this game by 3 to 5 points.
Yeah, this is not a particularly strong field for the playoffs. I mean, other than like maybe the 49ers, but they've looked very vulnerable too at certain points in the season. And I just don't trust the Ravens, period. So it does kind of feel like it's anyone's game. But yeah, I like the Browns in this game too. I just think it's a really tough spot for the Texans to be in. Any game that they were playing in the playoffs would be a tough spot. It's playoffs, you know? It's just a different animal. It's crazy. It's so weird to think that the football playoffs are really starting. Like, this is it, man. Like, you got to win these games or you're out, you know? I mean, I know that's obvious, but yeah, it's just the NFL season is such a grind. But now it's not so much of a grind anymore. Like, there's just such a highlight on these games. And Joe Flacco has been there and done that. I mean, he's one of the biggest stories of the season. And as much as I never thought I would ever say that, I mean, the guy just kept around, and he loves football. Obviously, it would be crazy to see him go on a run with on a division rival where he's from. I mean, I doubt that has like ever happened before in the history of the NFL. But he just looks solid. I mean, he's slinging the ball. You know, like he gets paid to throw the football, and he's going to do it. And it's not really like a game manager type of situation. It's just crazy to see. It's unbelievable. But I think their defense will play a good enough game. I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world. I mean, CJ Stroud is just, I don't know. Sometimes these teams just get lightning in a bottle, and he's playing at a high level. That win against the Colts last week, I mean, that's really impressive. I mean, that's amazing.
The Colts lost that game. The Texans didn't win that game. The Colts lost that game. Let's just be careful there. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
But they did it, you know. At the end of the day, they won that game. Yeah. So, and they're at home. But I don't know, man. I just think Cleveland is just ready to make some sort of run, you know. There's no drama around the team, which is just an absolute rarity. And they just look like they're focused and ready to play. I mean, they were just so locked in for those last 5-6 games of the season. It was wild to watch. Yeah, it'll be a good game. That'll be a very entertaining game to start the playoffs.
Dude, Super Wild Card Weekend is the best weekend in the National Football League. I will never back off that, and it's going to get kicked off with a bang here. This is going to be a super entertaining game, and like Spencer alluded to, you guys. I mean, there is no bigger story this year than Old Man Flacco. What he has done in the last 6 weeks, it's unprecedented for a guy his age. He is not managing the game; he is winning the game. He's throwing the ball downfield. He's comeback player of the year, man. I mean, let's be honest. Active squad to the practice squad to the active squad to the practice squad to starting quarterback one. I mean, it's been sick. David Njoku, we've been waiting on David Njoku for 50 years. Joe Flacco's the guy that makes him relevant. Stop it. I cannot see Houston winning this game. I'm sorry. And if they do, I'm not going to write them an apology or nothing because I'm a CJ Stroud truther. So it's a win-win for me, but I'd be really shocked. And the defense is going to be the difference. If you cannot stop the other team, you cannot win. And I know that's as obvious a statement as Captain Obvious could make, but let's be honest here. Houston's defense versus Cleveland's defense, I don't need to continue. Next. This is going to be one of the most interesting games on the slate when the Miami Dolphins head to Arrowhead Stadium to take on my Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs haven't played well all year, but they get the home game because they lock up the 3 seed and play well enough. They got enough wins early on with 11 wins to make the playoffs and hold it down and see what happens. This is going to be a tricky game. Chiefs are minus 4.5. I'm telling you, there's no way in the world Chiefs are covering this game. I am Dolphins all day long plus 4.5. Okay, and I'm under. I got it at 43. Score Mobile has it 43.5. Guys, I was out there a month and a half ago, whatever it was. It was 30 degrees at its coldest, and I was cold. You know, I started getting fired up, and then I started sweating as the game went on. But when the game started, during the Bud Light tailgate, it was cold. Okay, it's gonna tap out tomorrow at today at game time at 0 degrees. 0.
Oh, 0 degrees. Man.
When the ball gets kicked, it's going to be 0 degrees. Okay, guys. In the third quarter, it's going to be -7. Okay, and the wind chill is going to be off the charts. Now, the small-minded thinking is like, okay, Tua never plays well when it's 30 degrees or less. Miami's a warm weather team. They're 1-5 versus playoff teams. They're 0-7 when the temperature is this. Blah 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 blah. Okay. I think that's small-minded NFL thinking. I think that's going with the pack. I think you need to do some digging here to come up with, what's going to really happen in this game and not be so hell-bent on the weather. Guys, adrenaline's a real thing, and adrenaline's going to have these guys fired up, and they're going to be playing just fine. They're going to be warm, okay? Now, will they be able to field the ball, catch the ball? That remains to be seen, but I'm here to tell you that the ground attack for the Miami Dolphins is the key to winning this game for the Dolphins and winning this game for Kansas City, okay? 12, 11 personnel, 21 personnel. When they run this, Kansas City's going to be in trouble. Because the Chiefs have a good defense, but the Chiefs' weakness is their run D. They don't stop the run. They just don't. First down, they give up 6 yards. Second down, first down again. That's the Chiefs' weakness. And when they run this personnel, if the Chiefs can't stop the run, Wise too are going to need to throw. The difference between the 21-14 victory in Germany that the Chiefs had versus the Dolphins and this game is going to be simply one player. And he is an amazing player. And this guy could play on my team any day of the week. And that's Devon Achane. The guy is unreal. Now, if you watched him play versus the Bills last week, Dolphins didn't lose because of this guy. And he's fast. He can cut, stop on the dime, start again. He's very elusive. And they're going to be their strength. It's not going to be Tyreek. It's not going to be Waddle. It's going to be Achane. It's going to start and end with this kid. Now, Mostert is back too, albeit he's gimpy. He's back. Mostert has been a touchdown machine this year, guys. He's 20-something touchdowns. Mostert, early downs. Achane, mixed in, late downs, can catch the ball out of the backfield. I don't see how Kansas City covers this 4.5. I really don't, man. And I'm a Chief truther. I love the Chiefs. I know playoff pad is something different. I get it. And I know the Miami defense is just riddled. Jalen Phillips is out. Bradley Chubb is out. Van Ginkel is out. They lost another play. I mean, they are hurting. No Xavier Howard. I get it, man. They are walking wounded. They're going to be freezing. They're not used to this. Even with all that against them, I think they cover this 4.5. And I hate to even say it, man, and I'm going to say it out loud. It wouldn't shock me if they won the game. It just wouldn't. And I love my Chiefs.
Yeah, in these kinds of games, I think anybody can win. I mean, it's going to come down to a few bounces here and there. I like a random player prop. I like Tyreek Hill's over rushing yards. I feel like they're going to do. When you have games like this, you really got to pull out some wacky stuff. And I feel like no one is better than like Andy Reid and McDaniels. I think you're going to see some pretty weird stuff to get the ball forward. There's going to be a weird fumble in this game, 100%. I like the over turnovers, like all of these random props I'm sure that you can find on these apps. I think that they're in play, and I think you can get a chance at them.
Yeah, put the ball in Tyreek's hands.
Yeah,
he's your best
you were talking
player.
about how Miami's a warm weather game, and everyone is saying that, but the playoffs are a different beast. You know what I mean? We're not in the regular season anymore.
It's not.
These little weak storylines just don't work for the playoffs. These guys are ready to play.
Small-minded thinking. It's not doing your homework, just saying it's going to be cold, so they're going to get destroyed.
We're not in week 2 of the regular season. You're going
to see Mike McDaniel open the playbook like
you've
never seen before. And I'm telling you, while Kansas City's defense has been very good this year, their back end has been very good this year. I watch this team week in and week out for the past 30 years. Okay, I don't miss games. I dissect film. Their Achilles heel has always been they cannot stop the run. Derek Nottie is mid at best. They double Chris Jones. If Omenihu and Karlaftis cannot plug that middle up, if they cannot get to Achane, I'm telling you. If they cannot get to Mostert, I'm telling you. I would not be surprised to see the Chiefs lose this game. I think they will win, but I do not think they are going to cover 4.5, man. I just don't. Guys, the weather doesn't cater to just one team. The Chiefs are out there too. And Patrick Mahomes is going to be throwing a bowling ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I know playoff Pat is different.
And these receivers can't catch the ball in regular conditions, man.
Kelsey has looked very average, if not slow. I think 4.5 plus here is an absolute lock.
This should be on our teaser ticket.
I put my own money on it. I put my own money on it.
You get what, plus 10 for the Dolphins? No, I mean, I would be insane if they didn't cover that. That's got to be on the first leg.
It took Kansas City the play of the year to beat the Dolphins in Germany. Let that sink in. And I'm telling you, if the game was another 3 or 4 minutes longer, they would have tied that game and had to go to OT. Guys, I watch my team, and I love my team, but I'm also a realist, and I want to make you money. I put my own money on this. I love the under here. I love the Dolphins plus 4.5. I want the Chiefs to win. I think they will win. I think people are sleeping on the Arrowhead faithful. They're still going to be there, guys. People in Arrowhead will show up if this is minus 50. They don't care. They love their Chiefs. I'd be out there. I was just telling Spencer that if I'm sad, I'm actually sad that I can't go. I'm serious. I was considering going out there by myself. They're going to be there. So you have the home field, but the key is the personnel that McDaniels is going to run. That 12, 11 personnel, double tight end set, extra man in, at 21 personnel, I'm telling you, when they run this, they don't run it a lot, but when they do, man, Chiefs are giving up yards on the ground. They're hemorrhaging yards. 5, 6, 7 yards on first down. If Archon is healthy this whole game, they have their work cut out for them. But I am taking the Chiefs. I'm not taking them with a lot of confidence. I'm more hopeful than anything. I feel better about the next game if the Chiefs win this game than I do about this game because of the elements, man. The elements are real here. Arrowhead Stadium is going to be rocking, but it's chaos. You're asking a team to now do something that's already very difficult in sub-zero temperatures with a ball that turns into a bowling ball. It's tough. If you have balls, Miami money line, the smart money's Miami plus 4.5, and the under, which is what I'm taking, even as a Kansas City Chiefs fan. But I'm telling you, Chiefs are going to win this game on a field goal. You heard it here first. Next. Tricky game. Weird game tomorrow, man.
Another weather game.
Another real dude. Jeez. Steelers head to the Bills. Steelers squeak into the playoffs. They're playing well with Mason Rudolph. They've definitely shown me something, man. Mike Tomlin is a top 5, top 10 coach of all time. I mean, this guy does more with chicken shit than anyone I've ever seen. I mean, the quarterbacks are garbage. The freaking Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, these guys are clowns and CTE riddled. I mean, to have to deal with and survive these things and then get this team in the playoffs and win 7, 8, 9 games with bums, it's mind-blowing to me. Here, they head to the Buffalo Bills in Orchard Park, which right now, a picture of Buffalo is all white. The stadium is completely snowed under. It's completely snowed under. It's
unreal, dude. I've seen a lot of pictures.
It's completely snowed under. They're going to have, like, literally, I think they're going to do what they did a couple of years ago where they're, like, paying locals or giving them free tickets to come help shovel out the stadium. I mean, it's completely snowed under. Now, 9.5 is a lot, man. 9.5.
Oh, that's way too much.
It's a lot. And I was thinking about betting the Bills here until I saw the stadium. And I have to remember what I've been saying all year about Buffalo, how they haven't covered versus bad teams in their building, and they haven't. You know, and the ground and pound mantra that's going to have to be implored here is what Pittsburgh does. That's what they do. They do it more than Buffalo does it. So you're going to get a big dose of Najee Harris. You're going to get a big dose of Jalen Waddle. I mean, whatever that kid's name, I forgot. Number 30, Mr.
Pickens?
Austin. No, Jalen Warren, excuse me.
Jalen Warren,
the Austin Eckler clone-looking guy. I mean, he's going to be involved a lot. I don't trust Mason Rudolph. And the fact that they don't have T.J. Watt scares me. That's why I was thinking about laying the 9.5. Because there's no T.J. Watt. That's huge. You don't have a disruptor. You know what I mean? You just don't have a disruptor. You know what? I'm gonna lay the 9.5, man. I'm gonna lay it. I'm gonna stick to what I said earlier this week. I'm gonna lay the 9.5. I'm not gonna lay it with a lot of confidence, but I'm gonna lay it simply because TJ Watt's not in this game. And he is such a dominating force. He's such a disruptor. He's the type of guy that can really force Josh Allen into those inopportune turnovers that you see him make, quite frankly, in times where he shouldn't, like you saw last week versus Miami. I mean, this guy's just a turnover machine, but I'm not going to lay it with a whole lot of confidence. I just don't trust Mason Rudolph, and I think the Bills at home in the playoffs are going to recognize what happened last year when they played Cincinnati. They cannot have a repeat of that, man. Listen, this is the closest that the Buffalo Bills are ever going to get to going to another Super Bowl.
They got all the momentum.
This is it. They got the 2 seed, they got the home game, they got the weather, they got the fan base, they got Josh Allen, who's playing at a very high level. If they lose this game to Pittsburgh, Sean McDermott should be jailed. He should be jailed. There's just no way I can see them losing this game, and I think that they actually blow Pittsburgh out. I'm not even so sure Pittsburgh's a playoff team. Pittsburgh is a product of the extra team getting in. I mean, they're really not that good. I mean, is Mason Rudolph going to be throwing the ball here? I just can't see it, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just cannot see it.
I don't know, dude.
I'm going to take Buffalo in a route.
I don't know.
The over-under is only 33 and a half.
That's nuts.
That's
I mean, this is a weird game. I like the Steelers plus the points. Like they play in these weird games and they just find ways like turnovers or a block punt or block field goal, something like that. They find a way to do that in these kinds of like environments. And I don't know. I just don't think there's going to be a premium of points going around. I mean, there's going to be like an ankle deep in snow on the field. Yeah, I don't know. This is playoff football, I guess. I don't like these weather games. I've talked about this for many years. I don't think they should exist. I mean, this is barely going to be reminiscent of a football game. I mean, these guys are just going to be bumbling around in the snow, making
real men play football in games like this. I mean, have you ever heard of the Ice Bowl?
I know. Yeah, I think it's a generational thing. I think.
I don't know, man. People all week going on ESPN and all these other pundits talking about this game should be moved. And, dude, you babies need to stop. Real men play football. Stop it. My goodness, what is wrong with you? This has become the most pussified generation of sports freaking people I've ever seen in my life. Guys, go turn on the Ice Bowl and get back to me. Okay? They'll be fine. They got heated, warm, everything. They're gonna be fine. The game is getting played. This is the NFL.
Oh yeah, this game.
Okay, ball don't stop unless DeMar Hamlin dies on the field. Ball don't stop, and they would have continued that game if they could have.
They wanted to.
They wanted
to continue that game.
So stop with the game should be moved to a dome and blah 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 blah. You all sound like a bunch of idiots. I'm sorry, man. Stop. This is football. This is a man's game. It's been pussified enough with these stupid calls that you're making. Let them play. I don't care if a guy hits another guy with a snowball in the face. Let them play. I love Buffalo here. The more that I even think about it and talk about it, dude, Mason Rudolph is your savior in the playoffs. I mean, talk me off it, dude.
I mean, with no TJ Watt, I like Josh Allen's over rushing yard prop, whatever it is. I'm sure it's probably set around like 23.5 or something like that. I'll take it, man.
Go absolutely crazy. Name to watch in this game: Khalil Shakir. Gabe Davis has been ruled out. Not a huge loss because he's more boom than bust. But I think you're going to see a big dose of Josh Allen here. You're going to see a big dose of James Cook here. And you might see Stephon Diggs actually decide to show up and play some football. The tight ends are going to be in play. I mean, no TJ Watt, man, is a 3-point swing for me. Just him alone. Just him alone. If TJ Watt was in this game, guys, I would be taking Pittsburgh. That's how big of a swing it is.
That's how good TJ Watt is.
Dude, TJ Watt's an absolute football defensive god. He just is, man. I mean, he's defensive player of the year every year. Boy, those Watt brothers, man. What did those kids eat for breakfast growing up? You know what I mean? Like, what did their mom feed them? Because they're just cut from a different cloth. These guys, like, you could like tase him throughout the whole game, and he would probably just still play. It's insane how good they are. And I think that not having him on your squad is going to spell doom. I ran into a couple Pittsburgh Steelers fans in the supermarket this week, and they were just like, it's just, we got a playoff game. I mean, they know it's imminent. Buffalo is on a mission, dude. I'm telling you this. I think it's one of 4 teams winning the Super Bowl now. I have it cut down to less than the 7 or 8 teams now that I used to think it was. I think Buffalo, the Baltimore Ravens, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Dallas Cowboys. Those are the 4 teams I think that can actually go and win it. I don't think Kansas City can. They just haven't shown me enough. And the playoffs is not like a light switch that you can turn off and on, off and on, off and on. You have to be consistent here.
Yeah.
I don't think they have it. I mean, the Browns can win it too, but I have to see them demolish this team today. And I would put them in at 5. That would be my 5.
All eyes will be on Cleveland, man, because
Cleveland being the first game.
Everyone is like waiting for the other shoe to drop, But it hasn't.
I don't think so. And I tell you right now, and I'm going to continue to say it, Ravens fans, y'all better be hoping and praying that Houston pulls this out. because you do not. You might think you do, but you don't. You do not want to see the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. Next. This is going to be an interesting game, man. A lot of people are going with Dallas here at home -7 in Jerry's World just simply because that's what they do.
Yeah,
They
haven't lost.
They don't lose. They eviscerate the other team. You know what I mean? They're ready to mob. They're playoff ready. They're Super Bowl ready, which, you know what? It's hard to argue. They are. You know what I mean? They are. If their defense does what they're supposed to do, this is going to be a resounding W. But something is telling me that the Packers are going to stay in this game. I don't know what it is, man. Something tells me that they are going to be in this game. It's 7. I've seen it as much as 7.5. I just think Jordan Love has come into his own. And a lot of people owe Jordan Love an apology. A lot of people do. I was on the Jordan Love to Vegas train a couple years ago, which I would have loved to see that because now you can picture what that would look like with those players on that team. Jordan Love is a good player, and I'm no longer – this is where Dexter stops flip-flopping on Jordan Love. Jordan Love has my support moving forward. What I saw Jordan Love do this year with this team, Jordan Love has had huge wins this year. He beat the Lions in Detroit. He beat Kansas City at home. These are statement wins. These are signature W's. And now the emergence of a guy like Jalen Reed, who's not getting a lot of pop. Not a lot of people outside of Green Bay are talking about this guy. This guy is a stud. Musgrave's going to be back. Aaron Jones is fine. I know A.J. Dillon's not going to play, or maybe he will, but he's a bum, dude. So it's no huge loss there. The key is, does Jair Alexander play? Stepped on a teammate's foot, sprained his ankle. I mean, he's been doing a lot of talking to someone who's done a lot of nothing. I mean, I haven't seen him do anything since this time last year where he shut down Jay Jettas in Week 18. If he plays, he's going to have to be on CeeDee Lamb, and he's going to have to cover him like glue, man. You know what I mean? Like, if CeeDee Lamb is bubblegum, he's going to need to know what flavor gum. That will be a huge difference maker, and right now I think he's trending towards playing, but I think this game shoots out. I don't think it's going to be this.
Really?
I think it shoots out. I don't think it's going to be this dominant defensive performance that you're used to seeing Dallas have in Jerry's world. Jordan Love is such a weapon now because they're throwing the ball because they can. I mean, Romeo Doubs is still good. If they get anything out of Christian Watson, it's a miracle. I mean, there's weapons there. Kraft, Musgrave, they're not scrubs. They're in the playoffs for a reason. They won and got into the playoffs. They didn't back in. They won that game that we called against them in their building for Chicago. They owned Chicago. They're ready. You know what I mean? Do I think they can win the game outright? I'm not so sure that they can, but I think they can cover the 7. I see a late touchdown, Jordan Love diving into the end zone to try to be Superman, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point Dallas win. Dude, I still have questions about Dallas. In a big spot. This isn't you keep saying it's Spencer, and it's true, guys, and you need to hear what Spencer is saying. This is not the regular season anymore. Okay? Guys are now willing to put their lives on the line for W's. Jumps, cuts, throws that normally would be questioned in the regular season are happening every other play now. Guys are willing to get concussed for wins. And I think that Jordan Love has ascended, man. He's not C.J. Stroud, but damn, he's close. And I don't think people are giving him his flowers. And I think they play a really strong game here. The key is, can they stop Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb? The defense is going to have to play well for this to happen. And they hemorrhage yards on the ground. And so I could see them having a big ground game and a big air game too. I think Dak goes crazy. But, I mean, it is 50.5 is the over. I think that over hits no problem. I like the over a lot. I'd be willing to throw that in a 3-teaser because that's it. They're going to score points here, guys. Guys, the Dallas defense gets blown up a lot. Stop acting like it doesn't. Yes, they have games where they'll shut out the Giants and the hapless Washington Commanders will get beat up and Deron Bland will have 5 pick sixes in one game. But there's also games where they get their shit pushed in. It happens. Go look at the records, man. Go look at the numbers. They've given up. Look what San Francisco did to them. They got destroyed. I think the Packers stay in this game. Packers +7 is the play from my end.
This is tough, man. This is a tough game. I want to take the Cowboys, but it feels so easy.
That's why you take the Packers
in Dallas, and I don't know, but it's just the Cowboys. Like, Has this not been the Cowboys' case for the past like 3
They
years?
let you down in the playoffs. That's what
Yeah,
they
I don't.
do.
Their roster isn't like tangibly different, in my opinion, from like now and like 3 years ago. I guess you can say that Dak Prescott got better, but I don't even know if that's true. I don't know. This is tough. I don't know. I have to take the Cowboys here because I just feel like they should blow them out of the water, and they seem to do that at home. But we'll see. For some reason, that does feel like there's going to be something weird about this game, and it's the Cowboys. Like, would it really shock the world if the Cowboys have a big stinker against the Green Bay Packers? Like, it just wouldn't. It just feels like what they do every year. I mean, that's what they have done for years and years and years now. They're a team that constantly makes the playoffs and then just disappoint the moment they get there. And then everyone talks about how good they are going into next season. I mean, it's just like it's an endless cycle. But I would be super shocked.
It's a script that writes itself, Spencer. It's every year.
It has been.
It's every year. And listen, guys. Like Buffalo, this is the closest that the Dallas Cowboys are getting to winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. This is it. The one thing that they're missing that concerns me in Dallas is they don't have a number two, a real number two. Brandon Cooks is an ancillary piece. They don't have a real number two. And so if it's not happening with CeeDee Lamb, now you're really having to attack Jake Ferguson a lot. You can take him away. I don't know. I think how I'm feeling about Jordan Love is how a lot of people are going to be feeling about Jordan Love after this game. I think he's here to stay.
I love Romeo Dobbs anytime touchdown in this game. That's my best player.
Jaden, dude, you want an absolute lock, my friend. Anytime touchdown, Jaden Reed. The kid, I'm telling you, this is a best-kept secret in the National Football League outside of Green Bay, and a lot of y'all are not paying attention to this kid.
Yeah, Green Bay went under the radar for sure this year.
This kid is electric with the ball in his hands, and they go out of their way, to put the ball in his hands different ways. I guarantee he scores in this game. Dude, I will put my life on it. I will put my life on it. How are they going to score? They're going to give the best players the ball. Just like you were talking about Tyreek, they're going to try to give Tyreek the ball in different ways. That's what the playoffs are about. They're going to give CD the ball in different ways. That's what the playoffs are about. You're going to see them give their best players the ball in ways that they normally wouldn't in the regular season because now there's nothing for you to study because it's something new. And I'm telling you, I am banging the drum on Jaden Reed. This kid is the best wide receiver he's the best patch catcher on the Green Bay Packers. I'm telling you. And look, let's not act like Bland doesn't get burned from time to time. He gets big picks because he takes chances. But if that chance doesn't swing his way, it's a house call the other way. I'm telling you, watch out. I'm telling you guys, you heard it here first. I love the Packers +7. Spencer loves the Cowboys -7. We disagree. Next. This is going to be such a great game. Oh my God. I cannot wait to watch this game. This game has all the makings of true playoff football. Number one, it's indoors. Number two, it's the revenge game. Stafford goes back to where he cut his teeth in Detroit. Jared Goff wants his flowers. These guys are going to go at it because there is an extra motivation to win these games. Dan Campbell is ready to mob. Sean McVay was Dan Campbell before Dan Campbell was Dan Campbell. I love what's about to happen here, and I'm going to tell you going into the door, it's 51.5 is the over. Smash that over. Hit that over button right now. Call your bookie, get your phone out, do it right now. There's going to be a lot of points in this game. Everyone in this game. It wouldn't surprise me if everyone in this game scored. Kupp, Puka, Mandatory Montgomery, Gibby, the Sun God. They're all eating. They're all eating. Why? Because their defenses aren't great. People act like the Detroit Lions defense is great. It's not. It's not, man. They lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I don't know if he'll be back. Now, they got Aiden Hutchinson up front, which is a huge person to have to deal with. You know, Aaron Donald, same thing. A huge person to have to deal with. But these players by themselves are not going to be enough to slow down the point train. If Jalen Carter was on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson, I'd feel differently about this game. But he's not there. They took Jahmyr Gibbs, who is going to go off. These guys are all going to go off, man. There's going to be a lot of points in this game. I'm taking the Rams here, and I'm taking the Rams here with confidence. simply because I think Matthew Stafford is going to show them whose house that is. This has Dion going back to Atlanta feelings to it. This is Stafford's house. He built this house. He left that house and got a ring, and now he's coming back to that house, and he's going to show you why you should never traded him. And I like what they've done with Goff. I like Dan Campbell. I love the Sun God. Sun God's a top 3 player in this league for me. I love the guy. The guy's a yak monster. I just think that Detroit has overachieved a bit much, and they get clipped here. Not even if they win, I don't think they're going to cover 3. Puka Nacua is as good as any wide receiver in the National Football League as a rookie. Cooper Kupp, even in a down year, is better than your number 1 wide receiver's best year. They have players. They have ancillary pieces like Higbee, and I think the difference maker here is Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams out of Notre Dame has been the most disrespected running back in the National Football League in the last 12 months. The guy had to fight to get on the field. Why? It blows my mind. I mean, Cam Akers is absolute trash, but this guy is a touchdown machine. Inside the 5, it's house money. He can catch. He can pass block. There's nothing the kid can't do, and he's small. I mean, they're going to have a hard time containing him. So now you have firepower coming from all ends. All the Rams have to do is slow these guys down. I'm not asking you to stop them. But you know it, and I know it, Spencer, that Goff is good for turning the ball over a couple times. It's what he does. It's what he does. And I trust Stafford with the ball in his hands versus Goff with the ball in his hands. Let's not forget, we saw the Packers go there and win that game. We saw the Seahawks go there and win that game. They don't have this unstoppable home field advantage. Not yet. They're not there yet. And so I'm taking the Rams +3. They're my best bet. I love them big this week. I think they can win and go advance in the playoffs. And I think that is what's going to happen.
Yeah, this has got to be one of the best first-round playoff matchups, like, in recent history. And this is, like, everything you could ever want in a playoff game.
It's everything.
I mean, both quarterbacks are fighting for their legacies. I mean, that's how I see it. A little bit. I mean, Matthew Stafford's
cementing his legacy tomorrow.
But he wins tomorrow on Sunday Night Football against the Lions. I mean, he, in my opinion, he's already a Hall of Famer, but there's no way you can deny it at that point. If he buries his old team like that. Yeah, the Rams, man, I've been keeping a pretty close eye on them.
No one's going to want to play them.
Season. Their offense is so prolific.
It's
I mean,
really
it's
dynamic.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And looking back at that Cowboys game that was high scoring, I mean, golly, I do think the Rams could really win this game.
Me too.
The Lions have, first of all, like, really never been here to the first round of the playoffs in a long time.
So the pressure is all on Detroit. And guys, Sam Laporta is hurt. Sam Laporta is a humongous part of this team. Now, even if he goes, he's hurt. He's playing hurt, guys. I got to take the Rams.
Yeah, I just think that Matthew Stafford is going to outplay Jared Goff. I think it's that simple. So I don't think you got to complicate it too much. I think that's really what it. When it comes to the playoffs, it's margins like small margins like that that make all the difference.
Goff is really good, guys. I like Goff.
He's unreal,
Goff has won me several fantasy titles. I'm a Goff guy. I like Goff. He's better than you think. I just think he ran into the wrong team here. And I think he's running into the wrong quarterback here. Now, while their defense isn't great, that Rams defense is not good. You're going to put up points on them. I just think the motivation behind Matthew Stafford and that team, they're going to want to get this win for him. This is a rally cry in the locker room. Even if it's not spoken about, you all know that in the private conversations and the text messages, they're like, yo, you guys know we're getting this one for Matt, right? We're getting this one for Matt. And Sean McVay is going to help them get this one for Matt. I think the key is 2 players, Jahmyr Gibbs and Puka Nacua.
Dan Campbell's his own worst enemy, too, in this game, in my opinion. I think Sean McVay is a much better coach. I mean, just like going for 2 on the 7, he's going to keep doing it, obviously.
He's going to keep doing it.
He's not going to suddenly become a conservative play caller. I think it's going to kill him.
It killed him the other day, and I could see if he decides to try to really throw his dick on the table here, how it could backfire. I mean, let's not forget, they won a Super Bowl not too long ago here. Rebuilt really quickly. And they're in the playoffs again. I mean, that's a testament to a good franchise. And people were calling for McVay to retire. And he's still here, and I don't see why he would retire. Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua have single-handedly revitalized this team, and I think you're going to see, if they get anything out of that defense at all, a resounding Ram win. Like I said, they're my best bet. I absolutely love them this week, and it's because Goff can be turnover prone. Josh Allen catches a lot of strays for turning the ball over. Why are we giving Goff a pass? Next, my favorite. I saved the best for last. I love this. I look like an absolute genius this season, Spencer. You have to be honest. When it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, man, I mean, I wouldn't be able to walk the streets of Philadelphia. There's a wanted sign on every freaking corner with my face on it for how much I have shit on the Eagles this year and been right. And I'm hoping some of you guys have listened, at least and won some money, because literally I'm 5-0 in the last 5 weeks with betting against the spread on the Eagles. And I, like I said a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to continue to say it, I'm going to say this throughout the postseason, the off season, if they don't fix their secondary. I mean, and I'm going to open up next season in World of Matches, week 1 saying it. I am not going to stop saying it. The key to beating the Philadelphia Eagles is to go right at them. They are fraudulent. Their secondary is hot garbage, trash. Their secondary smells like Penn Station. It stinks. It's horrible. Slay is out. Bradbury was never good. God, thank God they went and got Byard from Tennessee. Imagine how bad it would look then, and it still stinks. They fly to Tampa Bay. Somehow they are favored. My God, how are they favored? This game should be a pick'em. I took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I remember this vividly. I don't remember what week it was, but the Eagles flew in Monday night. And Spencer took the Eagles and was like, you're nuts. They're going to destroy the Buccaneers. And they did. And they did. But that is a precursor to Tampa Bay getting their revenge here, because they're going to remember that. And that's not the same team that's coming in Monday night. This team has a quarterback that can't grip a football. This team has a quarterback whose confidence is clearly shaken. They don't really have confidence in Jalen Hurts, let's be honest. This is a team that's coming in that was 10-1 and is now 12-5 with a coach that is being rumored to be fired if they lose this game. This is a team that's coming in without A.J. Brown, a top 5 wide receiver in this league. This is a team coming in with Devonta Smith coming off being hurt. This is a team coming off their tight end who was hurt earlier in the season. They're not the same football team. They're not the same football team. Conversely, Tampa Bay has played some good football this year. They needed to win to get in. That's exactly what they did. It wasn't pretty, but they got in. Baker's a little banged up, but they're home. And they want their flowers. They want their revenge. They want to make it up for their fans after getting embarrassed on that Monday Night Football game. And I think they do here. I absolutely love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting 3 here. I love Tampa Bay money line even more because I think they can beat the Eagles here. Mike Evans should have a day. Chris Godwin should have a day. Cade Otton should have a day. Rachaad White should have a day. Throw the ball. You ain't going to run on the Eagles. Throw the ball. Anyhow Tampa gets up in this game is over. Because they're going to pin their heels on Jalen Hurts because his confidence is just shaken. Double Slim Reaper. Double. You're going to have to, because both teams' defenses, or I should say their secondaries, are trash. You beat both these teams by going at their secondary. I mean, the over-under is 43.5. I would bet the over because there's going to be a lot of throwing in this game. I would think that both quarterbacks' overs will hit. The tush push is a thing. Jalen Hurts is really trying to redeem himself here, but something tells me that there's enough good players and there's enough pride in Tampa after being destroyed by this team earlier this season to play a galvanized football game under the lights when they're the only game in town. I think they win the game outright, and I think Mike Evans and Rachaad White have enormous games, and I think The disappointing team of the National Football League this season is the Philadelphia Eagles, as Eagles cry their way back to Philadelphia, fire Nick Sirianni, and start from scratch again. There will be no huger fall from grace than the Eagles if they lose this game, and that's what I'm calling to happen. I know their defense is good. I know, but they're an older bunch, and they can't stop anybody, man. And Baker Mayfield is feeling good. Baker Mayfield, like Jordan Love, deserves his flowers. You guys need to stop, man. This is not the same Baker Mayfield. He is going for this shit. He's found a home. He got his incentives. They're talking about extending him. Sometimes you have to hold a player's hand a little longer in the NFL before it happens. And I think that's the story of Baker Mayfield. And I think that they come out, and I think they come out guns blazing. They have no answer for Mike Evans. I could see Mike Evans having like 2 touchdowns and 160 yards and like 10 catches in this game. So cement his legacy moving forward of being on a new team next year, because people are watching. People want Mike Evans. Kansas City Chiefs want Mike Evans. And he knows there's a lot of money to still be made on that last contract. And I think it happens here Monday night. Tampa Bay all day, twice on Monday. Have that steak seasoned. And you can put that thing on the grill early in the fourth quarter, because I think this game is going to be over.
Wow, I don't know. Everyone's going to be on the Bucks. I mean, I think everyone's going to pile money. And I don't know. It's usually games just don't go exactly like you think that they do, especially ones like this. But no A.J. Brown. I think I'm
Huge.
just, I'm just going to stay away from the team, personally, with my own money. But I guess the over probably is the play. I
You
can't
know
get
what
a
I
read
took?
on this because
I took on that
Bucks at
ticket that
home
I showed
state.
you. I took Tampa first half plus 1.5. I like that. Plus 1.5 first half. I could see them being up at halftime.
I've just seen this Bucks team stink at home so bad all year.
I know.
And I could see the Eagles just putting in like their best performance of the season and then trying to quiet it. They get A.J. Brown back. I don't know. I mean, those are just storylines that I can see forming in my mind. Just because, I mean, everybody, like pregame, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people on the panels and all that kind of junk talking about Buccaneers. They're going to take the Buccaneers in this game to shock them. Godly. This will be this is probably one of the more interesting games where I just I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Baker Mayfield's going to be fired up. Everyone's going to be ready to go. Eagles look like they're limping in. I'm taking the Eagles. I don't know why. I don't think I should. I mean, I've been against them the last few weeks now. Kind of been in on this downfall that they've had. But it just feels like they're going to find a way to put together a good performance. Like, the Buccaneers aren't good. Like, they're not a very good football team.
Yeah, they're
great
better than 500 football team. That's what they are.
Yeah,
They're 9-8.
They snuck into the playoffs in a bad division. I think that's the reality of this team. Not to say that they're pushovers. I mean, they play okay. You know what I mean? They win the games they're supposed to, but they just don't seem to win the games that, to really elevate them into like a real playoff team. And I think the Eagles have a lot more experience.
The key here is the fact that the Eagles mopped them up in the same situation earlier this season. If they hadn't played each other and that happened already, I probably would take the Eagles here based off experience, because the Eagles are a playoff-tested team. Even without A.J. Brown, I probably would lay the 3, pull and pray. But that did happen. And that is not far removed from the minds of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they have film. They have film that they can go look at. Minus A.J. Brown, I can't do it. I can't do it. A.J. Brown is such a vital, integral part of what they do in Philly, and he's not out there. He's not there. Tampa Bay money line. They've been my valuable soldiers all year long, and I know betting on them at home has burned me, but I'm going to go down with the ship here. Fire the cannons. I'm taking 3 at home, 1.5 at half. Stop it. If you're scared of both those bets and you're a pussy, go ahead and take the over, because there's going to be a lot of points in this game. It's only 43.5. It's Tampa Bay.
Short line.
Weather's good. There's nothing they're going to be worried about there. Let's put together a 3-teamer, Spencer. What do you like?
Well, I'm thinking the Rams. I would like them to tease the Rams here. I think they have a very good chance. I like the under, teasing the under in the Chiefs game. And I guess we kind of have to pick one more. Those are the two that I feel pretty strongly about. I
So
would
it'd
tease
be
the
Rams
Steelers
plus
personally.
9,
Yeah, you get
Chiefs.
under, like, what, 49
It's
at
under
that point?
43, right? 43 and a half right
Yeah,
now.
so you get under 49. Golly, that would be there's no way.
No way.
That's a lock. Honestly, that's got to be the best bet.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, you get plus 15 in a game where everyone's knee-deep in snow.
Yeah.
And I think the Steelers thrive in those kinds of games.
Pittsburgh Steelers. That's minus 9.5 right now. I mean, it's 33 and a half for the under. Tease that down at 26. I mean,
I don't think there's going to be any points, man. I think that's going to be a 10-3 victory.
I think so too. Boy, those are the three that I like. We got screwed last week by the Patriots, but we have been.
Wow, I could not
three
believe that
teamers.
Patriots game last week.
Patriots
That's
are hot
unreal.
garbage, dude. They're done, man.
You can't play a hard game for your coach, like your legendary
Horrible,
Hall of Fame coach.
They wanted Bill out. Let's be honest. They couldn't. Honestly, it was like
Okay.
A-Rod on the Yankees. They couldn't wait for him to leave. They're done with him. They're done. It's horrible how that whole thing transpired. But I do like this 3-teamer, and I really like my picks this week. Good luck to you guys. This is a super wildcard weekend. I mean, literally. I don't care what you're doing. Cancel your plans because this is going to be the best football you're going to see all year long. This is going to be better than the division, the Super Bowl. This is it. Super wildcard weekend is the jiznit. It is the cream of the crop for the NFL. You got weather games, you got dome games, you got revenge games, you got players hurt. It's on and popping. Don't miss this. Literally, like all I'm doing for the next 3 days is watching football and going to church. That's it. And I might even have my phone out at church. Sorry, Pastor. It is what it is. All right. World of Matches coming to you live in direct, Las Vegas, Nevada. Guys, we'll be back next week to break down the next round. Good luck with your bets. Enjoy the games. We have a World of Matches. I am Dexter Reed. On the other side, that is Spencer the Wiz. Final thoughts, parting shots, Spencer.
Hey, just enjoy, man. This is what it's all about.
What's the crazy thing you think happens this weekend? There's going to be one insane thing that happens this week. What do you think it is?
I definitely think there's going to be a division winner other than the Texans that lose. I think that's probably my boldest take. I guess probably the number one to look at is the Lions, but I could even see it being another one that we just don't see coming.
Yeah.
I really think the Steelers have a chance to win that game against the Bills just because of the conditions. If it was on a neutral field, I wouldn't even think twice about it.
That's crazy. Wow. That's Spencer's. My bold take this week is that a game is going to end on a defensive touchdown. That's how a game is going to end. And everyone's going to be like, oh my God, what just happened? That's my take. We'll be back next week, you guys. Enjoy the games. Spencer, be good, man. I'll text you this week during the week.
Yep. See ya.
Peace.